Hello everyone, my name is Damian. I'm a tutor from Pusat Tuition Teliti. Today, in this video, I'm going to go through with you the comprehensive practice questions from the Form 4 Modern Mathematics textbook. Okay, so as I'm going through, I will not only give you the solutions to the question, I will give you some explanations and some guidelines towards the details of the chapter. Right? So without further ado, let's go through. So we look at the questions here. So if you look at the first question in your comprehensive practice, very simple question. It's just determining whether or not the expressions is a quadratic expression in one variable. So all quadratic expression basically can be expressed in ax squared plus bx plus c form. Okay, all quadratic expression definitely can be expressed in this form. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so your b and c can be 0. So if b is 0, then I have ax squared plus c. If c is 0, ax squared plus bx, or if both is 0, ax squared. Yeah. Okay. So all this would still be a quadratic expression. Okay. However, if my a is 0, then this term will disappear. Then I have bx plus c, and this is a what we call a linear expression. Is no longer a quadratic expression. Yeah, so that's where you need to be more aware of. Okay, your b and c can be 0, so don't be confused if you're missing the x term or you're missing the number term. Right? So it can be positive or negative as well. Okay, any of these numbers can be positive, can be negative, can even be fraction. Okay, I can even put like half x squared plus 2x plus let's say 3/5. Yeah. Okay, even that would be a quadratic expression. Okay. So what will not be a quadratic expression is if I don't have the square term, okay, or I have a term that is out of this tree. Okay, means I have something with cube, or I have something with any power higher than 2, power 4, power 5, or anything. Yeah. And the letter that you use can be x. Generally, we use x as the most common one. Okay, but it can be other letters as well. I can use A, B, C, I can use Y, Z, I can use P, Q. Yeah, doesn't matter. All right. So it also cannot contain a variable on the bottom of your fraction, on the denominator. Okay, that will represent power negative. Okay, this is same as x to the power negative 1. So your power cannot be less than 0 and more than 2. Okay, it can be power 0. Power 0 means just your number. It can be power 1, which is your x. Can be power 2, which is your square term. Okay, but it cannot be higher than that, cannot be lower than that. Yeah. And here they also want it in one variable, means there should only be one variable, one unknown. So each letter represents one unknown. Okay, so if there's a different letter, it also means it isn't a quadratic expression in one variable. So let's look at this question right here. First one, p squared minus 4p plus 1. This one, it is. a quadratic expression in one variable. So this one, yes. Second one here, even though there's fraction, like I say, fraction isn't an issue. Okay, but everything else fits the bill. So that will mean that this is also a quadratic expression in one variable. For for C, square, power 1 and power 0 is fine, but these are two different variables. So means this is a two variable quadratic expression. So this is no. Yeah. This one is also no, because there's no square term. Okay, highest power is 1 here. So this is only a linear expression. So this is not as well. This one, like I say, your B can be 0. So this one also will be a quadratic expression. And for part F here, okay, this one, if I split up, divide by 3, whole thing divided by 3 is the same as each of the term divided by 3. So this is no different from 1 over 3x squared plus 2 over 3a plus 1 over 3, which is still your quadratic expression. So this one also, yes. Yeah. There's no issue with it having fractions. That's question 1. Huh? Let's look at question 2. State the equation of the axis of symmetry for each graph of quadratic function below. I want the equation of axis of symmetry. Okay. So see, if we're given the roots, okay, or we're given a point at the same height, okay, it's very easy to find the axis of symmetry. Because basically a quadratic graph is symmetrical on the left and on the right. It's exactly the same. So if I cut right down the center, straight line right down the center, that would be the axis of symmetry. Okay, that would represent the axis of symmetry. In other words, the distance from here to here and from here to here is the same. Yeah. So the x value here, right in the middle, will be the midpoint of these 2 points. Same goes here. Cut right down the center. It will be the midpoint. The x value, yeah, will be right in the middle of these 2. Yeah. And a vertical line equation will always be x equals to a constant. Yeah. Okay. So to find the axis of symmetry, just take x equals to the average of your x coordinate, of your roots here. -2 plus 6 divided by 2. So it will be x equals to 2. That's the equation. For part B, same thing. Yeah, the y value is the same. So the height is the same. So the x will also be right in the middle of these 2. So the equation of the axis of symmetry, x equals to -1 plus 7 divided by 2. So it become x equals to 3. That's the equation of the axis of symmetry here. That is question 2. Now, next, question 3. Solve each of the following quadratic equations. So solving quadratic equations, basically what we want to do is we want to factorize it. Yeah. Okay, put it in your general form and then we factorize it. That's the most common way of doing it. Yeah. So if you if you are doing additional maths as well, okay, there you may end up using other methods as well. Okay, but generally in modern maths, we would usually factorize them. So the other methods, like your quadratic formula, quadratic formula, or a completing the square, those are technically correct. However, in modern maths, I would generally not advise you to do that because it is not in the modern maths syllabus. Okay, so stick with factorization. Okay, stick with the factorization method. So first one, 4x squared minus 1 equals 0. What I can do here is I can change the 4x squared into 2x bracket square. 1 is the same as 1 square. Now, do you recognize this form? This form is a squared minus b squared, okay, which is 1 bracket plus, 1 bracket minus. Try to remember this formula, okay, that relates your a squared minus b squared, okay, to factorize. This was in the Form 2 syllabus, okay. So if you've forgotten, it's okay. Now is the time you should try to remember. Okay, always remember this relation. If I have 1 bracket plus 1 bracket minus, it will be a squared minus b squared. Okay, I can go from this to this, or from the 2 brackets, expand into this. Yeah, they are equal. Okay, because if I try to multiply a times a squared, a times negative b, I'll get a minus ab, and b times a, I'll get a plus ab, plus b times negative b minus b squared. You see, minus ab plus ab basically becomes 0. That's why I'm left with a squared minus b squared. Yeah. So try to remember the relation without needing to do that. And always remember 1 square, 1 is the same as 1 square. So this is a squared minus b squared form. So I can change it to 2x minus 1 bracket 2x plus 1. 1 bracket plus, 1 bracket minus. So it doesn't matter whether you put minus first or plus first. It's the same thing. There's no difference to it. So 2 brackets equals 0 means it's either your first bracket is 0 or your second bracket is 0. Because 0 times anything is 0, or anything times 0 will be 0. So if either one of the bracket is 0, the whole thing will be 0. So it's either 2x minus 1 is 0, okay, or 2x plus 1 is 0. Means 2x minus opposite is plus. Okay, so get rid of the minus 1, I plus 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Get rid of 2. 2x means 2 times x. Opposite of times, divide. So divide by 2, I get half. Listen, plus opposite is minus. Minus 1 times 2, opposite, divide 2. So negative half. So x is either half or negative half. That's for part A. Yeah. Okay. So part B is basically the same principle. Okay. 81 is the same as 9 squared. So I can factorize into x plus 9, x minus 9. Yeah. You see, I can put minus first and then plus, or plus first and then minus. Doesn't matter. It's the same. So it's either x plus 9 is 0 means x is -9, or x minus 9 is 0, x is 9. Two possible answers. Right? Part C is a bit different. Okay, I have y square and also the y. So in order to factorize this, I need to, whenever there's common factor, okay, whenever both terms can be divided by the same thing, I factorize that. I factorize the common factor. Okay, so both I can divide by y. So I take out the y first. Then I have y minus 4 left. Okay, y squared divided by y. 4y divided by y is 4. So it equals 0. So it's either the y will be 0 or the y minus 4 is 0. Means y is 4. Two possible answers again. Now part D. X squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0. Okay, this one, what we do is we don't, we don't. So if there is no number in front of your unknown square, it's very simple to factorize it. Okay. So what we do is find the factors of this number. Okay. 2 is basically 1 times 2. That's the only way to get 2. In order to get a plus 3, okay, we look at the number in the middle, plus 3. In order to get plus 3, I need to either plus or minus these two numbers. So to get plus 3, I must plus 1 plus 2. Then I straight away put that into the bracket. X plus 1, bracket x plus 2 equals 0. Means it's either x plus 1 is 0, x is -1, or x plus 2 is 0, x is -2. So the two possible answers. All right. Then part D. Part E. 2x squared minus x minus 10 equals 0. Okay, so instead of x squared, I have 2 in front now. So I cannot just find the factors. Okay, so the proper method of doing this is to use the cross method. Okay, cross method. Put the middle term on the right, the minus x on the right, the rest put on the left. Okay. So this will multiply. Here and here will multiply to get the number at the bottom. Here and here will multiply to get this. And here will plus. Yeah. Okay. So what happens is, to get 2x squared, it must be 2x multiplied by x. Okay. So I need to multiply diagonally. Okay. Yeah, you need to multiply diagonally. So what I do is, first I take this times this, 2 times 10. 2 times 10 is 20. So I find the factors of 20 instead. Yeah. Why I don't need to multiply number in front? Because this number is 1. Yeah. So 1 times 2 is still 2. Okay. Because the number in front, when the number in front is 1, I don't do the step of multiplying because it will multiply by 1, which doesn't change anything. Okay, but actually I would need to multiply these two together. Then only I find the factors. So 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. Now I see which combination, which of the pair here, when I plus or minus them, I can get the middle number, which is this one. No number means 1, -1. Okay. So to get -1, it must be -5 plus 4. Okay, so I need to get -5 and +4. So they will multiply across. I cannot put 4 here because if 4 there means I have to put 5 here, and 2x I cannot multiply to get 5. So it's the other way. -5x plus 4x. So 2x will multiply this to get the plus 4x. So here must be +2. X will multiply with -5 to get -5x. So these two will end up as the brackets, as the factorized form. So 2x minus 5x plus 2 equals 0. So it's either 2x minus 5 is 0, 2x equals 5, x equals 5 over 2, or x plus 2 is 0, x is -2. Two possible answers. All right. Yeah. Now, if you have trouble doing the factorization this way, it's okay because there's not really working marks given for completing the square, but you need to make sure you have this line. This line of working. You need to be able to put into the factorized form. You cannot straight away give the answers. Okay, so what you can do is you can use your calculator. You can use a calculator to actually find the answer. For this calculator, press mode, and you'll see equation. If you're using the MS version, okay, the MS version calculator, then you have to press mode until you see equation. Select that. Yeah. For this one, it's very easy to see which one I need to select. The one that's in quadratic form, quadratic equation form, which is the third one. But if you're using the MS version calculator, the black color one, okay, whether you're using second edition or first edition, doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Yeah. So I would advise you to upgrade your calculator if it's possible. Yeah. But if it's not possible, it's okay. Yeah. Don't worry too much about it. Okay. It still functions perfectly fine. Yeah. It's just that it's less capable, and it's more harder to key in certain things, yeah, like your fractions and all that. So what I do is, for MS version, you have to press right button, this button, right. Okay, then they'll ask for degree. So degree is 2. Degree means what's your highest power. Okay, when this degree 3 means it's a cubic expression, cubic equation. If it's 2, means it's a quadratic. That's why we select 2. Okay, then they'll ask you for A, B, C, just like this one, asking you for the A, B, and C. So it's your AX squared plus BX plus C form. So we just key in accordingly, like this, 2, -1, make sure you put negative, and -10. Then you'll get, press equals 5 over 2 and -2. You see, you will get the final answer. Yeah. But how do I get the bracket from the final answer? Okay, basically you work backwards. So you will still have this at the exact same working. Okay, just that you're working backwards from bottom to top instead of from top to bottom. Yeah. But don't go and reverse your working. Don't go and write x equals 5 over 2. Then you go and write 2x equals 5, 2x minus 5 equals 0. Then you put the bracket. No, don't do that. Yeah. If you do that, it's very obvious you're using calculator to find the answer first. Yeah, you're getting the answer before you're giving the working. But no one is going to trace your working. No one is going to trace your handwriting, see which one you do first. Yeah, so it's okay to get the answer first, but you have to show all the working so that your examiner can give you the full marks. Right. So part F. Let's continue part F. Okay, this one I have x minus 2 bracket square equals 16. So when you see in this form, oh, it looks like it's factorized already. It's very tempting to just use it to find the final answer. Okay, which you technically you can. Okay, technically you can for this one. Yeah, just for this case. Because now if I bring over the 16, yeah, sorry, bring over the 16, positive opposite minus. 16 is basically 4 square. Then you can see this is a square minus b square, which I can factorize into x minus 2 plus 4, x minus 2 minus 4, 1 plus 1 minus. Yeah, so in other words is x plus 2 bracket x minus 6 equals 0. Yeah. So it's either x plus 2 is 0, x is negative 2, or x minus 6 is 0, x is 6. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. Yeah, without putting that into general form. Yeah. But that's only if I can put it in my a square minus b square form. If I cannot, then don't use this method. Okay. If I expand it back, I will still get the same answer. I will still get same factorization, and still get the same answers. Okay. Yeah. You can try it out using this method. Of course, if you want to do the normal method and you are able to do it normally, then yeah, by all means, go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Part G. M squared plus 3m minus 4 equals to 0. So this is similar to the first one. But 4 has two pairs of factors, 1 times 4 or 2 times 2. Yeah. So there's a choice now. So same thing. I want to get plus 3. So to get plus 3, I need to use 1 and 4. Plus 4 and minus 1. It cannot be the other way. It cannot be minus 1 plus minus 4 plus 1. Because if minus 4 plus 1, then it's negative 3. Minus 3m. But this is plus. So the 4 must be plus. So just put m minus 1, m plus 4. Just put accordingly. Then I get either m minus 1 is 0, m is 1, or m plus 4 is 0, m is negative 4. Yeah. Okay, that's part G. It's quite straightforward. Part H. 2p squared minus 13p plus 20 equals 0. This one also is rather straightforward. Okay. Now let's try to use the calculator method this time. Okay. So if I use the calculator method, yeah. So in this one, press mode, equation, and then 3. Yeah. If you're using an MS version, press mode. Yeah. Keep pressing mode until you see EQN. Yeah. Select the number. Yeah. Under the EQN, which stands for equation. Then press the right button. Yeah. Then they'll ask for degree. Yeah. Then you press 2. Select 2. Then they'll ask for A. Yeah. So key in your A. A here is 2. 2 equals. Just key in 2 and press equals. Then they'll ask for B. Key in minus 13 equals. C is 20. Key in 20 equals. So you will get the final answer, which is 4 and 5/2. So don't put here. Leave some space. Put below. So x is 5/2. And x is 4. Okay, 4 and 5/2. So what we do is we make it equals 0. Okay, but get rid of fraction. Divide 2, opposite is times 2. So 2x equals 5. Positive 5, opposite minus 5. So 2x minus 5 equals 0. First bracket, 2x minus 5. The other bracket, 4 bring over, positive, opposite minus. X minus 4 equals 0. So here must be x minus 4. The whole thing equals 0. And that's how we solve using a calculator. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now, part I, the k minus 4, k minus 1 equals to 18. Okay. K minus 4, bracket k minus 1 equals to 18. So, yeah, for part I, again, this looks like a factorized form. However, yeah, it is not. Okay, and there is no shortcut to doing this. There is no shortcut to doing this question actually. Yeah, what we have to do is we have to expand it first, then put into your general form and factorize them. Okay, so I multiply the k and k squared. Yeah. Make sure when you multiply bracket, yeah, don't just multiply the first 2 and multiply second 2. Is k times k times -1 minus k, -4 times k minus 4k, -4 times -1. Don't forget the negative as well. Okay, the minus or plus follows the number. So same sign, plus 4. Okay, 18 positive, I bring over, opposite is minus. So minus 18 equals 0. Then I will have k squared minus 5k plus 4 minus 18 is minus 14 equals 0. So no number in front of the k squared. Factorize, just find the factors of 14. 1 times 14, 2 times 7. To get minus 5, minus 7 plus 2. So k plus 2, k minus 7 equals 0. So it's either k plus 2 equals 0, k is -2, or k minus 7 is 0, k equals to 7. Right? That is the answer for part I. Right? And then part J. Okay. Part J, h minus 1/3 equals Actually, let me leave some space here. H minus 1 over 3 equals 1 minus H plus 1. Okay, so get rid of the fractions first. Okay, so bring up this, divide, become times. Make sure you bracket the whole thing. So when it's inside a fraction, it's like having a bracket. Okay, so make sure you don't leave out the bracket. It's H minus 1 times H plus 1 equals 1 times 3. Expand. 1 minus 1 plus means is H square minus 1 square. 1 square is still 1. Yeah, 1 times 3 is 3. Bring over the 3. Positive, opposite is minus, minus 3. So I have H square minus 1 minus 3 equals 0. So I get H square minus 4. 4 is the same as 2 square. Yeah. So you factorize 1 bracket minus and 1 bracket plus. Means it's either H minus 2 equals 0 or H plus 2 is 0. H is 2 or negative 2. That's the part J. All right. Then we have part K. Part K as well, there is no shortcut to doing this. It may look partially factorized, but it's not. So we have to expand. Okay. So don't expand the 2 first, expand the square bracket first. Now, common mistake when we expand the square bracket, don't go and do this. Yeah. This is when it's 1 bracket plus 1 bracket minus. Okay. When you square, you can use the formula. The formula is, it's not this one. Yeah. Make sure you don't use this one. The formula is sorry, get rid of this. Yeah, formula is ax squared plus bx plus c is a squared plus minus 2ab plus b squared. That is the a plus minus b bracket square. Square the first term. If it's plus here, then plus. If it's minus, then minus. Okay, 2 times of a times b plus b squared. That's how we expand, or how we can factorize from this to this. Okay, that one is optional, whether you want to memorize or not. Okay, if you memorize, then it's easier when you expand. Okay, but if you don't memorize, it's fine as well. Okay, because even if you want to factorize, yeah, we can use the normal method to factorize. So here, expand, I get x squared, x times x. Okay, x times negative 2 minus 2x, negative 2 times x minus 2x, negative 2 times negative 2, same sign plus, plus 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, equals to 5x minus 7. Multiply the 2 inside. Okay, and this one I simplify. Yeah, you can simplify that first. Okay, so you can straight away jump from this to this as well. Okay, there's no issue as well. Okay, use as many steps as you need. You don't have to copy a working blindly. Okay, yeah, everyone has a slightly different different set of steps that they may be more comfortable with. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When I actually do it myself, I skip a lot of steps. for the sake of explanation, I am writing more steps than what is needed. Okay, so feel free to cut down steps that you don't need. Yeah, but don't go and cut down these steps. Don't go and cut down this step, the factorized form. Okay, because this is part of the working marks. Okay, so those that I highlight as your working marks, do not cut those steps. But other than that, it's okay to cut certain steps here and there. Okay, if it makes your calculation faster and you still can do it reliably. All right. So I expand inside 2x squared minus 8x. Make sure you times every single term. Plus 2 times 4, 8. Bring over the 5x minus 5x. Bring over the 7 minus opposite plus. So plus 7 equals 0. Simplify, I get 2x squared minus 8 minus 5. So minus 13x plus 8 plus 7 plus 15 equals 0. Right? Then you factorize. Again, let's try to use calculator again. So just key in the A, B, and C, 2, negative 13, and 15. I get 5 and 3 over 2. So x equals 3 over 2, x equals 5. Bring up 2, 2x equals 3. Bring over the 3, positive become minus. 2x minus 3 equals 0. First bracket, 2x minus 3. X equals 5, bring over 5, positive become minus. So I get x minus 5. Whole thing equals 0. And these are the final answers. All right, so these are all the factorizations here for the question 2. Sorry, question 3. Right? Yeah. So they're generally the same. Okay. Make sure you try to practice your factorizations. If you are still unfamiliar with it, you may use any method. Okay. That I've shown. Okay, you can factorize using cross method. You can factorize using your calculator, no issue. Okay, but make sure you can reliably do it every time without any reference. Okay, so yeah, practice as many times as you need. You can even use back the same questions to practice. Yeah, but don't go and use the exact same one every single time. Yeah, but you can see here there's a set of questions. Okay, from A to K. Yeah, so you can cycle between them. Okay, cycle between the choices here. Right, and try out the different methods of factorization. Make sure you can reliably do it every time. All right. So I'll continue with the next question, question 4. So given one of the roots of the quadratic equation, x squared plus px minus 18 equals 0 is 2. Calculate the value of p. One of the roots. What is a root? Root means basically possible values of x. Yeah. Possible values of x when your quadratic is 0. When your quadratic equation if you have a quadratic equation, the possible value of x in the equation. If I have an expression, then it's the possible value of x when the quadratic expression is equal to 0. So it's either way is the possible values of x basically. Possible values of your unknown. Your square and your square unknown. The unknown that makes it a quadratic. P here is actually a constant. Okay, just that I do not know what that constant is. The value doesn't change, but the x value changes. Now, x squared plus px minus 18 equals 0. Root is 2, means I can put x equals to 2 into the equation, and it will be equal on both sides. So just substitute the 2 in. 2 squared plus p times 2 minus 18 equals 0. Okay. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 2p minus 18 equals 0. 4 minus 18, negative 14, plus 2p equals 0. Minus 14, opposite is plus. So 0 plus 14 is 14. 2p means 2 times p. So opposite of times, divide. So p is 14 divided by 2, which is 7. Then I get the value of p equals to 7. That's for question 4 here. Right? Now, question 5. Show that the quadratic equation m minus 6 squared equals 12 minus 2m can be written as this. Yeah. So basically, I just need to rearrange this into the general form. Hence, solve. Yeah. So it's basically the same as what I've been doing here in my part K. Yeah, or even my part I. Basically, I just expand, put in general form, and then solve. So we just expand it first. Again, make sure you are able to expand your square correctly. Okay, don't just square the m and square the 6. Is the same as m minus 6 times m minus 6. If you need to, you can even write out m minus 6 bracket m minus 6. Yeah, if you need to, you can even write this out. Then you times 1 by 1. Okay. Yeah, but if not, yeah, if you don't need that, then straight away you can write m times m squared. Yeah. M times negative 6 minus 6m. Negative 6 times m minus 6m. Negative 6 times negative 6 plus 36. Yeah. Bring over the 12, minus 12, minus 2m, opposite plus 2m, equals 0. Yeah. Simplify, m squared minus 6 minus 6 plus 2. So minus 10m plus 36 minus 12 is plus 24. Then equals 0. Yeah. Sure. Okay. It's in this form. Then solve it. So to solve it, basically I factorize. So if there's no number in front, the fastest way to factorize is actually listing out the factors to get 24 factors of 24. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. So to get minus 10, there's 2 ways to get minus 10. It's either minus 12 plus 2 or minus 4 minus 6. Yeah. So how do I know which one to use? That's where you need to see this sign. If this is plus, means I should take the one with the same sign. If it's minus, I should take the one with different sign. So this is plus, take same sign, means minus 6 and minus 4. So it's m minus 4, m minus 6. Either m minus 4 is 0, m equals 4, or m minus 6 is 0, m is 6. These are the two possible answers. All right, we look at this symbol, yeah, to know which pair I should use. That is question 5 here. Now, question 6. determine the coordinates of the minimum point from the graph or quadratic function. Okay, it's interrelated with, it's basically the same thing with your question 7 actually. In fact, question 7 is even more it's even easier. Okay, so for question 6, so your minimum or maximum point for the graph will be at the axis of symmetry for the quadratic. Okay, whether it's a minimum graph or a maximum graph. Okay, maximum, minimum. When I cut right in the middle, it will always be at the maximum or minimum point. Okay, so here, so basically to find the minimum or maximum point, first we find the x value, means we find the axis of symmetry. Now there's a formula you can use for axis of symmetry, okay, when we're given the function, the quadratic function, which is x equals to negative b over 2a. Okay. It's in your textbook, but not in the middle part of it. Yeah, it's like a side excerpt on the side. Yeah, on one of the pages. Okay. Yeah, so you may miss it if you just like very quickly flip through it. Okay, but is there in your textbook x for axis of symmetry? Okay, we have this formula. Yeah, x equals negative b over 2a. So for model maths, it's advisable for you to memorize this. Okay, advisable for you to memorize it. Yeah. Okay. If you don't want to memorize it, yeah, it's not that there is no way I can find the axis symmetry. It's just it's way more troublesome. Okay, it's way more troublesome. Basically, what I can do is I can factorize, find the roots. Using the roots, I can also find my axis of symmetry. But if you just memorize this, it will save you a lot of time. You see, I can just take x equals negative b is 6, negative 6 actually, over 2a. A is 1. So it's 3. Yeah. X equals 3. Yeah. You see, if I factorize it, okay, let me show you factorization method. Factorize, find the roots. Okay, I will get factors of 5 is 1 times 5 to get minus 6 minus 5 minus 1. So it's either x minus 5 is 0, x is 5, or x minus 1 is 0, x is 1. So if I take average of 1 and 5, it will also be 3. It's the same. Either way, I get x equals to 3. Right? So once I have the x value, to find the maximum, basically I just substitute the x value in to the function. 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 5. 9 minus 18 plus 5, negative 4. In other words, the minimum point is x value 3, y value negative 4. Yeah. Right? So why I say question 7 is the same but easier, because I'm given the axis of symmetry. So to find the maximum point, straight away I can substitute x value of 4. 7 plus 8 times 4 minus 4 square. Yeah, straight away I can calculate this. Feel free to use a calculator to count the whole calculation here. Okay, so it's 39 minus 16, 23. Okay, so the maximum point coordinate, x coordinate 4, x value 4, y coordinate is your function value when your x is 4, means 23. So it is 423. Just like that. That is question 7. And question 8. Okay. Not very difficult as well. Okay. Here we want to find coordinates of A, equation of the axial symmetry, coordinates of B, coordinates of maximum point P. Yeah. So what I can do is basically the A here is the y-intercept. Now, before I answer this question, let me explain to you the effects of your A, B, and C in your quadratic equation or quadratic expression or function. Okay. Now the A represents the shape of the graph, whether it's U shape or N shape. Okay. If it's more than 0, it's positive. So positive, when you face a positive thing, what do? You smile. Okay, so it's a smiley shape. Yeah. Positive face. Graph with a positive face. So when your A is positive, it's a U shape quadratic graph. When it's less than 0, means your A is a negative value. Negative value, negative, when we face a negative thing, what do? We frown. So the shape of the graph is N shape. Right? Now, moving on to B. B, what does your value, the values of your B represent? Okay, basically, your B shows where your axis of symmetry will be, whether it's on the right side of your y-axis or on the left side of your y-axis. Okay, yeah. So basically, it will be on the opposite side. If B is positive, it's on the left side. Okay, when your B is negative, it's on the right side. Okay, this is if your A is positive. Yeah. Okay, so that would be very confusing, right? So rather than doing that, you might as well just remember your axis of symmetry is always negative B over 2A. Yeah. Okay. So how does this work? Basically, see, if this is positive, then it will be on the negative side. If one positive, one negative, then you'll be on the positive side. Okay. If both positive, both negative, it's on the negative side. Yeah. Because the sign wouldn't change. The sign originally is negative. Yeah. So same sign will be on the left. Different sign will be on the right. Okay. That's how we can see the B value. And if it's 0, If it's 0 means right in the middle. Yeah, means if there's no x term, it'll be right at the center. Like that. Okay. And then your c. Your c is like your y equals mx plus c. Yeah, that's c. The same principle behind it. Basically, c will always indicate your y-intercept. Yeah, because it's a constant. Because when x is 0, the other two terms will be gone. So I'm left with the constant. Means y will be equals to that constant. So a here, coordinates of a. A here, your x will be 0. Yeah, because on the y-axis. Your y value will be the constant. Means it's just the -5. So 0, -5. No working needed. Yeah. You just need to know how to interpret your function. Part B, axis of symmetry. So like I say just now, -b over 2a. So just take -6 over 2 times a is -1. So it'll be 3. X equals 3. That's the equation of the axis of symmetry. Part C. Coordinates of point B. So to find the coordinates of point B, there's two ways of doing this. Okay, there's two ways of doing this. One is by using the axis of symmetry. Another one is just by using the y value. I know B here has the same y value because they say it's parallel to x-axis, horizontal line. No change in y. Okay. So if I use the y value, basically I take -x squared plus 6x minus 5 equals to -5. Bring over -x squared plus 6x minus 5 plus 5 equals 0. -x squared plus 6x equals 0. Factorize the x. -x plus 6 equals 0. Means it's either x is 0 or -x plus 6 is 0 means x equals to 6. Then I get point B, 6, 0. The other method of doing this, using axis of symmetry. I know here is 0, the x. I know here the x is 3. So means here the x is 6. Yeah, 2 times of it. Yeah, or I can take 0 plus this equals to 3. Divide by 2 equals 3. Yeah. Okay. Usually this kind of question will be 1 mark each. Yeah. Because there's not much working needed if you're using the easiest method to solve. Okay. So coordinates of the maximum point P. Okay. So I already know the x value, just substitute in. So for part D, I find F3. -3 squared plus 6 times 3 minus 5. -14 plus 18, so 4. Means point P is 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, that is for question 8. Now, question 9. Okay, it has quite a bit of similarities. See here, y-intercept. So from the diagram, y-intercept is 6. So C is 6. Okay. Part B, M. M here is the axis of symmetry. So I have the roots right in between. Okay, so M is average -3 plus -1 divided by 2. -2. Okay, M is -2. Part C, value of A. Now, to find A, again, there are two ways. I can use axis of symmetry, or I can use any of the x-intercept point. Yeah. Okay. So if I use -b over 2a, that would be the easiest. Means -8 over 2a equals to your axis of symmetry, -2. Yeah. Cut here, 4. So -4 is -2a. Bring over -2 times opposite divide. A is 2. Okay, A is 2. The other method would be substituting, okay, putting back the C and then substituting everything in. So part D, I want to find N. Okay, so put back the A and C first. Fx is 2x squared plus 8x plus 6. Okay, so I want to find N, means I put the M value in. So yeah, basically Fm equals to N. So F -2 equals to N. Yeah. Okay, because M is -2. So 2 times -2 square plus 8 times -2 plus 6, that will be equals to your N. So N is, just calculate this whole thing. Okay, so this is 2 times 4, 8, minus 16, -8, plus 6, -2. N is -2. That's the value of N. Right? Yeah, so that is for question 9 here. Question 10. Diagram shows part of a graph of quadratic function. Fx equals a bracket x minus h bracket x minus k, where h is less than k. Okay. So the roots is when your fx is 0. Okay. So when fx is 0, when this whole thing is 0, to get 0, a cannot be 0. So means it's either this is 0 or this is 0. Then I will get x equals h and x equals to k. Yeah. Means h and k are the roots of the function here. So roots of the function here is 1 and 5. So means h and k are 1 and 5. So here they say h is less than k. In other words, h is the 1 and k is the 5. Okay. Then I want to find A. So how do I find A? Yeah, how do I find A? Basically, I can substitute any one. Actually, yeah, if I substitute any of the x intercept, I'll get 0 here. So I can substitute the y-intercept. Yeah, I can actually substitute the y-intercept here. Okay. So F0 equals 15. So I know H is 1, K is 5. Means A times 0 minus 1 times 0 minus 5. Okay, because X is 0. Then the whole thing is equals 15. Negative 1 times negative 5 is 5. 5A is 15 divided by 5. Okay, times opposite divide. A is 3. That's the value of A. And for part B, equation of the axis of symmetry, right in the middle here. So average of 1 and 5. Okay, or you can use negative B over 2A also, but that will mean you need to put it in general form first. Yeah, so it's easier to just take average. 1 plus 5 divided by 2. So X equals to 3. Part C, coordinate of point P. I know the X, find the Y. Means F3. 3 times 3 minus 1 bracket 3 minus 5. 3 times 2 times negative 2. Negative 12. Okay. So means point P is 3, negative 12. Yeah, that's for question 10 here. Question 11. Length of a rectangle is x plus 1 cm and the width is 5 cm less than length. So express the area of the rectangle in terms of x. Okay, area of rectangle in terms of x. So area of the rectangle. Okay, when it's a shape, I would advise to always sketch out. Okay, when you sketch it out, it's easier to visualize, it's easier to see, it's easier to compare between the different information. So length of a rectangle, x plus 1. The width is 5 cm less, means the width here is x plus 1 minus 5. Okay, the length minus 5, which is x minus 4. So area of rectangle means length times width. So means I have area equals to x plus 1 times x minus 4. Okay. So there is no requirement or restriction on what form you need to put it in. They just want A in terms of X. So it's okay to just leave in this form. If you want to expand, also is fine. Okay, but part B, anyhow, we will need to expand. Okay, because we want to find A. We are given area is 24. Find the length and width. I will get x plus 1, x minus 4, the area equals to 24. Yeah. So again, no shortcut. You need to expand first. I have x squared, x times negative 4 minus 4x, 1 times x plus x, 1 times negative 4 minus 4. Bring over 24, positive, opposite is minus, equals 0. So x squared minus 3x, okay, minus 4 plus 1 minus 3, minus 4 minus 24 minus 28 equals 0. Factorize. Yeah, no number in front of x square, so xx. Factors of 28. 1 times 28, 2 times 14, 4 times 7. To get minus 3, minus 7 plus 4. Plus 4 minus 7. So it's either x plus 4 is 0, x is negative 4, or x minus 7 is 0, x is 7. Now, yeah, are both answers possible? Okay. So in a lot of cases, this kind of question, okay, not both answers, not both x values will be acceptable. Okay. In this case, x equals to negative 4 is not possible. Because if not, my length, I will get negative 4 minus 4, negative 8, and negative 4 plus 1, negative 3. Negative length. There is no such thing as negative length. If there's such thing as negative length, it would be like going into another dimension, moving back into the dimension. Yeah, because x is not, length and width is not a vector quantity, it's a distance. Yeah, it's a scalar quantity. So there's no way it can be negative. Yeah, we're not comparing it with something. Yeah. Okay. So it's like taking away, making that length disappear into something. Yeah. So it's like going into another dimension, which is not possible. So negative values for scalar quantity, remember, always not possible. Yeah, means your length, width, time, all this cannot be negative. Yeah. All right. So I only can take x equals 7, means the length, yeah, and width. Make sure you pay attention to what the question is asking, length and width, not the x value. Yeah. So at the end, we want to find the length and width, which is the x plus 1 means 7 plus 1, 8 cm, and 7 minus 4, okay, 3 cm. That would be your length and width. You see, 8 times 3, 24. Right, that is question 11. Question 12. Diagram 1 shows in an isosceles triangle with a base of 4y cm and a height y plus 5 cm. Okay, and then diagram 2 shows a square with sides of y cm. Right. So area of the triangle is more than the area of the square by 39 cm squared. Calculate the difference in perimeter between both shapes. So what should I do here? Here, you look at the information given. So here, diagram 1, diagram 2 is already shown in the diagrams here. Okay. But I'm also told the area of the triangle is more than the area of the square by 39. Yeah. So area of the triangle is half times base 4y times height, which is the y plus 5. Area of the square is y times y square, because these two is the same length. This is more than this by 39. So in order to make it equal, I can plus 39 here. Then they'll be the same. Yeah. Okay. Just imagine if I'm, say, I have 30, you have 25. I have 5 more than you. This is more than this by 5. So to make it equal, I plus 5 here. Plus what is more? What extra is needed to be equal? So plus 39 here, then it's equal. All right. Cut here 2, 2y, multiply in 2y squared plus 10y. Okay, equals y squared plus 39. So bring over, I try to find the value of y. 2y squared plus 10y. Positive become minus, minus y squared plus 39 also minus, minus 39 equals 0. So I have y squared plus 10y minus 39 equals 0. Factorize. Factors of 39. 1 times 39, 3 times 13. To get plus 10, it must be plus 13 minus 3. So y minus 3, y plus 13 equals 0. So it's either y minus 3 is 0, means y is 3, or y plus 13 is 0. Then I will get y is negative 13, which is, again, not possible. Okay, y cannot be negative. Okay, because y is a length, so there can never be negative length. So y must be equals 3. So if y equals to 3, the perimeter of your triangle will be 4y, 4 times 3, plus 2 times of the y plus 5. Y is 3, so 3 plus 5. Okay. 12 plus 16, 28. 28 cm. Perimeter of the square, 4 times y. 4 times 3, 12 cm. So means the difference in perimeter will be just minus. Just take the larger number minus smaller number. So it will be 16 cm difference. Yeah. Okay, basically that is how we find for question 12 here. Right. Now, let's move on to the next one. Question 13. So diagram here, I have a rectangular garden A, B, C, D. E and F are 2 points on CD and AD respectively, such that CD to DF, CE to DF. CE equals to DF. These two same length. Yeah, they are both X. AF is 12, DE is 15. So everything is labeled in the diagram here. So form an expression for the area of rectangle A in terms of X. So area of the rectangle will just be the top here, 12 plus X. Yeah. Multiplied by this length, 15 plus X. Yeah. Okay. Let's expand it. 12 times 15. Okay. So 12 times 15, I get 180 plus 12x plus 15x plus x squared. Then I get 180 plus 27x plus x squared. Yeah, I can, usually I put x squared in front. Let's put x squared in front here also. Okay, x squared plus 27x plus 180. That is your expression for the area. Okay. Meter square. Whole thing. Part B, area of the rectangle is 460 meters squared. So calculate value of x means I can take the quadratic expression here equal to 460. Bring over 460 plus opposite minus. So x squared plus 27x minus 280 equals 0. Yeah. Then I factorize. Okay. So again, it's okay to use calculator when it's a large number like this, because if you want to list out all the factors, it might be a bit long. Yeah. Okay. But if you want to list out also, there's no problem. So there's no issue. Yeah. So basically it will be actually there's a bit too many to list out. Okay. So let's use the calculator method. Okay. Or if you can figure out what factor gives you that combination will give you that 27, also you can do that. So this is yeah, it's a bit hard. So let's use the calculator. Just key in your A, B, and C value. 1, 27, negative 280. Yeah, you get 8 and 35. So x equals negative 35, x equals 8, means x plus 35 equals 0, x minus 8 equals 0. Yeah, so the bracket is plus 35 and minus 8. If you put minus 35 and 8, then plus 8 is wrong. That's why make sure you make it equal 0. So again, x cannot be negative. X again is a length. So x can only be 8. And part C, determine. So Aiman wants to build a small footpath with tiles that cost 50 ringgit per meter. Okay. So Aiman has budget of 1,000 ringgit. Determine whether Aiman has enough budget to build the footpath. So from E to F is this one here. This one right here. Okay. So you can see this is a right angled triangle. So to find, I need to find EF length first. So I need to use Pythagoras theorem. I know DE is 15. DF is your X, which is 8. So EF is 8 square plus 15 square square root 17 cm. 17 meters. Sorry. So the cost for the footpath will be 17 meters times the 50 ringgit per meter. Right? So I take 17 times 50. I will get 850. 850 ringgit. His budget is 1,000. Yeah, means Aiman has enough budget. Right? That is for question 13. And then for question 14, the History Club of SMK Srijaya has drawn 2 rectangular murals in conjunction with Malaysia's Independence Day. So part A, express the difference in area between the 2 murals, A the square in terms of x, right? So the difference between the two murals, difference in area between the two murals. Okay. So we try to compare the two, right? We need to figure out which one is actually the larger one. Okay, which one is actually the larger one? Because actually, just by looking at it, it's a bit hard to tell. Yeah, which is the larger one. Yeah, because on one hand, this is 2x minus 1, this is 3x plus 1. On the other hand, this x minus 1, this x minus 3. Okay, without knowing what x is, it might be a bit misleading to tell. Okay, but I know this must be a positive length. So x must be at least 4. Okay, x must be at least 4. So when it's at least 4, 3 times 4 plus 1 compared to 2 times 4 plus 1, the impact will be bigger here. So for example, if I put 4, then it will be 13 times 1. If I put 4 here, 8 minus 1 is 7. Here, 4 minus 1 is 3. Oh, wait, actually, this one will be larger if it's 4. Yeah. So it might be a bit, yeah, it might be a bit ambiguous, actually, because they don't really tell you which is larger. Yeah. But looking at it, I would assume it's not 4. It's not such a small number because this seems to have quite some distance also. Yeah. So I would assume this is bigger. Yeah. But it can also be the other way. So this question is not, it's actually not a very good question because of how ambiguous is it without saying which one is larger. Okay, so I can actually put either way. So yeah, but yeah, will it affect much? That one is actually it will affect, yeah, it will still affect. So difference between the area. Let's say I assume this one is larger, then it's 3x plus 1, x minus 3 minus 2x minus 1 times x minus 1. The other case would be the other way. 2x minus 1 times x minus 1 minus 3x plus 1 times x minus 3. So if I expand, 3x squared minus 9x plus x minus 3 minus, keep the bracket first when you expand this. Okay, don't just open up and leave out the bracket because the sign will change according to this minus. I'm subtracting the whole thing here. So when you leave the bracket, yeah, it's easier to simplify from there. It's less chances of getting confused by the different sign. 2x squared minus 2x minus x plus 1. Open up a bracket. Some minus 9 plus 1 is minus 8x minus 3 minus 2x squared Same sign becomes plus. Plus 2x plus x. Different sign becomes minus. Minus 1. So 3x squared minus 2x squared. X squared. Minus 8 plus 2. Minus 6. Sorry. Plus minus 6. Minus 8 plus 2 plus 1. Minus 5. Minus 5x. Minus 3 minus 1. Minus 4. Yeah. See the other one, what I will get is like this. 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 minus 3x squared minus 8x minus 3, which is negative x squared minus 11x. Sorry, not minus 0, plus 5x plus 4. Yeah, basically the negative of this. Yeah. Right. So they tell you the difference is 10. So if this one, then x squared minus 5x minus 4 equals 10. For part B, then I'll get x squared minus 5x minus 4 minus 10 equals 0. X squared minus 5x minus 14 is 0. Then I can factorize here. 14 is 2 times 7. To get minus 5, minus 7 plus 2. Yeah, so it's either x plus 2 is 0 or x minus 7 is 0. Means x is negative 2 or x is 7. X again cannot be negative. Yeah, so it cannot be this. See, if I use the other method, sorry, the other possible way of putting, equals to 10. So the negative x squared plus 5x plus 4 minus 10 equals 0. Negative x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Change everything from negative to positive, positive to negative. Yeah, before you factorize, easier to count. Then I will get x equals to get minus 5. It's either 1, 6 or 2, 3. But it has to be same sign. So 2, 3 minus 2 minus 3 means either x minus 2 is 0, x is 2, or x minus 3 is 0, x is 3. Yeah. So this one will give you both answers not possible actually. Because I have x minus 3. So no matter which one I use, it's not possible. Yeah, because this length cannot be 0, cannot be 2, cannot be negative 1. Sorry. Okay, cannot be negative, cannot be 0. Okay, so means my original assumption is correct. I assume that this one is bigger. Okay, but if you end up assuming this one is bigger, then this is what you will get. Okay, you will end up with both x value not possible. Yeah. Okay, which usually the question will avoid putting you in such, in such predicament. So don't worry about not being able to tell which is bigger. Yeah. Okay, because they generally won't try to trick you like that. Yeah, it will be more obvious. So yeah, basically that would be X value 7. So parameter of the smaller mural, smaller one would be this one. Since, yeah, what I do is I minus here. So for part C, take this away. For part C, basically what I do is first, you can find the parameter in terms of X and then substitute X, or you can just find the value of your 2x minus 1 and x minus 1 first. 2 times 7 minus 1. 13. 7 minus 1, 6. Means the parameter 2 times 13 plus 2 times 6. So 26 plus 12. 38. 38 meters. Right? That would be the parameter of the smaller mural here. Right. All right, so yeah, basically that would be all for the questions, comprehensive practice questions. All right, so here in our tuition center, our 30 tuition center, we have our notes and tutorials book. We have, yeah, a collection of books. We also are doing online classes, online tuition classes, as well as e-learning modules. Okay, so if anyone would love to sign up for it or purchase our books are also available on Shopee. Okay, you can just search the Pusat Tuition 30. Okay, on Shopee. In fact, if you search 30T, I believe you should be able to find. Yeah. Okay, so we have notes and tutorials book. We also have practice books by topics. Yeah, drill practice also by topics, as well as some past year question books. Okay, so if you would like to purchase them or if you like to sign up for any classes, feel free to do that. Okay. Yeah, or if you like to watch more videos of us, you can follow us on YouTube and check out our other videos as well. So if there are any other inquiries, you may call these numbers. Yeah. You may call these numbers, call or message these numbers, or even email us. Or message us on our social media. All right. So that will be all. Thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next video.